Great morning! Mike Fonseca here, reporting live from the train tracks of life. Over here. Coming over here again, man, one more time to express my gratitude for another day. It's a beautiful day again in the city of Miami. And I'm over here trying to change people's tracks, directions, unlock minds, human hack. And then there's a world like this that creates all that noise to keep my message from penetrating, to keep you from receiving that message, right? But my consistency and discipline of doing it over and over again calms the noise and allows the message to seep through to the right individuals at the right time. So if you are one of the people looking for this message, here I am again, ready to deliver it. And today we're going to talk about some fun. Cement trucks. Not that much fun. Today we're going to talk about identity. So identity versus personality. Sorry, got to cross this here. I look everywhere. So we're going to talk about identity versus personality. What is your identity? What is your personality? What is the difference? Is there a difference in them? Why are we even talking about this? Well, identity, right? Your identities is who you are. Your identities is something that you hold, is a vision or hold of yourself, right? So your values, who you are legally, who you are physically, what you do, the things you like, the things you don't, that's your identity, right? And then personality is how you and others perceive that, right? So how you perceive or live in that identity, that's the personality. So a principle is identity. If you live in purpose and within your identity, then you fulfill what your God-given talents and your God-given calling is. Okay? I'm gonna go in a little bit deeper on this part because it's very important. Now, I'm gonna tell you 7 ways. 7 is a great number. Okay, you can see this on the scripture as well. 7 is a beautiful number. A lot of things are 7. You know, there's 7 layers to the skin. When you're having a C-section, they got to cut 7 layers in order to get to the baby, right? 7 days of the week, 7 days for creation of the world, right? The notes of the songs, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, 7, right? So 7 is a very important number. So I'm gonna give you 7 ways in which you either build or rebuild or at least identify what's going on with your identity, right? You're supposed to be able to, don't let nobody analyze you. I'm gonna give you the codes, the metanoia codes, and you analyze yourself. Okay? So number 1, okay, so the number 1 is the beautiful, the perfect one, okay? This is written, you guys can look this up on Genesis 1:26. We're created in his image, okay? Read it there. And the message is this. If that is true, if Genesis, okay, the fundamentals, Genesis 1:26, if that is correct, then I'm not a rational animal, right? Because they say that we run the earth because we're the rational animals here. But I am not a rational animal. Because animals were created on day 5 of creation. God created us on the 6th day. And he created us to rule all over the earth, over all the animals. That means that we're created in his image to rule the earth and the animals. So we're not animal. I'm not a rational. I mean, y'all can be a rational animal. I'm not, right? I'm the image of creator here on earth. So with that said, that's the most beautiful step of your identity, right? That's who he thinks you are. Because you got to understand, man, who you are right now, you're not a doctor. First of all, you're not who you study for. I don't care if you went to school 10 years. I'm not discrediting you. All I'm saying is this. You're not a realtor. You're not a doctor. Okay? You're not a soccer player. That you're being that right now. But that's not what you are. Right? Because let's say you're a doctor and you mess up, right? And you lose your license to perform to be a doctor. What do you then? You know nobody else? That's it. You're done, right? Yeah, that's why a lot of people go into depression, all types of crazy stuff. Because they define their entire identity in something that they're being at the moment, right? And God doesn't do that. God doesn't define you for who you are at this moment, which is a very small, in the scheme of things, you're 80 years here on earth. It's like a speck, right? So he doesn't judge you for this. That's why we're blessed, because he sees the before and after. He sees in the future. He sees who you are in your essence, right? So important is number one, how God perceives you. That's number one. You should always, whenever you're falling too much deep anywhere else, you go back to one, okay? Number two, okay, you get this one. Number two is what your parents, your peers, your teachers, what those people tell you you are. How crazy is that? That's number two. After God, they come. That's how important people are. And sometimes they abuse us mentally, sometimes without even knowing, because people don't really check information. They just pass it on, right? That's why we got to check. Even what I say here, I don't want you to check. I want you to follow up and check, right? So that it can become wisdom instead of just knowledge, right? So you got to understand, it's not their fault sometimes. It's kind of like they say, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. And some of these things used to be before, but now they're not true anymore, right? These are called false truths. They used to be true at one point, but because things change on earth, technology-wise or any otherwise, they are not truths anymore. It's kind of like saying rockets don't reverse. Yeah, that could have been the truth when NASA was building it, but guess what? Mr. Elon Musk says we must reverse. So he created something that reversed, and now that now is a false truth. It's no longer a truth. That's what it is. And some of these things used to be before, but now they're not true anymore, right? Some things now it's not. You're not what you eat. Matter of fact, you've never been what you eat. You are what you drink, because 78% of your body is water, just like the earth. Therefore, you are what you drink. So make sure you drink good water, okay? Let's go. All right, so think about this. The second part of your identity has really to do with what the people tell you are, like your parents, right? Your teachers and people that are closest to you. Why? Well, because those people don't need an access card to get into your brain. So God created your brain with all types of encryption, right? So that nobody can get in there. That's one of the rules. You have free will, and nobody can read your mind. Boom, right there, bam, 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 pa, pa, pa. Right? So you got those two things going on for you. So it has all types of encryption. Nobody can get in there. So whatever, you bring things in and out of there. But what happens is this: the people that we trust, they have free access. They have the codes, right? So your mom, when she hits your head, she doesn't get blocked by the code. It's your mom. You trust her. So she can download codes in there. It's like a virus in your computer. I know it's your family, and it's gonna hit some people hard, but listen to the code, okay? She's doing it because that's what she learned. So she's passing it on to you, thinking the best, okay? But she doesn't need the access card to get in and out of your brain. So she can instantly download things there. Sometimes she's going to download things, or he or whatever, that is not the right things. That's what they learn, right? And they didn't question, and now they're just passing it on. Because people are lazy, man. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. Because learning takes time. Learning takes effort, energy. So the brain just blocks it off. I don't want to learn it. That's why people can't build stuff. I always thought it was a Brazilian thing, but it's a lot of people. So most people get a box or anything that they buy online or whatever, and it arrives in their house. They never read the manual. They open it up and they start building it, right? And then they spend 2-3 hours trying to build something that should have taken 30 minutes. That's how the companies win. They don't have to pay somebody that 30 minutes, an expert to build it, send it to you, you build it, they save it. That's why IKEA is so successful, because they save on that, right? So, child, read the manual, save yourself some time. Read your own manual, save yourself some time. Anyhow, that part is they have direct access in there because you trust them. Now, what that happens is they pass on the information to you and you take it as it is. Perfect, no problem. You need to be aware of who's downloading information and what your beliefs are, right? So that you can adjust to that. Now, the other thing is this. The next step on your identity, how it's formed, how it's coded, is how your culture perceives you, right? So technically, I'm Brazilian. So let's say Brazilians are known for being tardy, right? That's a thing. It's like a culture thing. So because they say that, I'm Brazilian, so automatically what I do, I grab that. I say, hey, that's part of my identity, and I put it in my heart. So I'm late all the time. I wake up early to get late. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of person. So sometimes you gotta break that based on what it is. I live in Miami, so we're good because over here everybody late. So if you run on time, it's a bad place, right? That's what they mean by right place, right time, everything. So in Miami, that culture is allowed. So I keep it in my identity. I try to be early, and I'm still late. Imagine if I didn't try. So anyhow, that's an opportunity that I need to work on. But back to what I'm talking about. By my culture saying those things, I pick it up and I make it part of my identity. So understand that and filter some of those culture things. Like, so we have something called the jeitinho brasileiro. That means that we do something really like around the rules. We bend the rules a little bit, right, to get things done. And that's something in the culture. Sometimes it's bad. Like here in the US, that shit doesn't work, right? Because here everything's so right. Like you try to bribe a cop that pulled you over here, you go to jail. In Brazil, it was okay. I don't know if it's still okay now, but it used to be okay. Identity, so you can really do a quick self-analysis and tell me on the comments where you end up at. All right, if you think it's making sense, just do a pow 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 for me in the comments. All right, so number 4, okay, is the way you perceive yourself. Who do you think you are, right? Instead of what people tell you are. Who do you think you are? What do you think? Because sometimes we want to be something and we have aspirations to be something, but that doesn't mean that's who you are, right? You're improving to that. That's funny. I got my alma mater hat today. Shout out for FIU. Anybody from FIU, Miami? FIU. I actually did hospitality management there, and I never understood why. But now I know my purpose is to serve. So I am a professional server. All right? Let's get it. All right, so number 4, no big deal. The way you perceive yourself. So if you're perceiving yourself in a way that is not constructive to you or to your life, then obviously we need to change that, right? All right, number 5 is how people perceive you, right? Is what people say you are. Like, you know, like you have people sometimes tell a story about when you're a kid, or say that you do something because of something else, and that you grab that because maybe it's your aunt and she said that, oh, Michael, oh man, this guy used to be so tough. You know, he fell and he hit his head and he got back up. So that tough, she said it, I am. Boom, I grabbed that, I put it in, that's part of my identity. I'm tough, right? Now, the same way that it could be a negative too. Oh, Michael, yeah, man, every time he fell, he cried out loud. He was such a pansy, right? She doesn't need access cards. She downloads directly into your brain. So you can also pick that up. So be aware of this, right? So that's the way people perceive you. Number six, okay, number 6 is one that just came about. It didn't exist before because we didn't have the internet, right? So number 6 is how you perceive yourself online, right? Because we all different people, but like in real life, and then what we post online is a whole other person. That's number 6, right? Number 6 is that part, the vision, whatever is it that you post on, things like that. And then last but not least is number 7. Number 7 is your identity. So if you resume all the things above and you jot down what they are all the way through, at the bottom, when you blend all those 6 things, identity, that's the result. Number 7. It's a beautiful thing. That was a lot to process. Actually, 13 minutes today. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that, man. I want to thank you guys for again showing up and being here to listen to this word today. All right, so I'm gonna finish it up with John 15:16. You did not choose me, but I appointed you. So go bear fruit that lasts. And so whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. In the name of Jesus Christ today, then I ask the Father to bless the lives and clarify our identity so that we can unlock our mind and continue to serve on this beautiful earth every day, waking up minds to the word. Mike Fonseca, you guys have a blessed day. I appreciate you. Share the message. Don't be selfish. If somebody say something that I said here on my video touched you, make sure that you give it a little like and share this video. Have a great day, man. Blessed day. Great July for y'all. Let's get it.